Hi everybody, I'm Betsy and I'm the author of Wordchain. Wordchain is more than phonics. It is primarily about developing the skills involved in applying phonics knowledge in order to read words and spell. So very briefly, Wordchain 1, which is this one, begins with the simplest words with the 5 simplest vowels. A student who barely reads at all will need to begin here. Wordchain 2 is about initial blends and final blends and simple 2-letter suffixes. Wordchain 3 focuses on the most common vowels and vowel digraphs, and Wordchain 4 covers less common vowel digraphs and common prefixes. Wordchain 5, when it comes, covers multisyllable words, Latin and Greek spelling patterns, and complex suffixes. Every effort has been made at this level to include scientific and technical terms likely to be encountered in secondary school. So Wordchain begins with the simplest 3-letter words and works progressively to the most complex patterns that students are likely to encounter at intermediate and secondary school. So this is Wordchain 1. Now, with the recording system I have, I cannot both talk to you about the features and play the audio in the activities. My options are one or the other. However, it is my voice on the Wordchain audio, so I'll just tell you what the student hears. So let's start here. I'm going to start here on the first chain. Now change it to hot. I don't know what to do. So I listen here and I hear he, o, t, and I can listen here and hear that I have got o, t. This one is the one that's wrong. So I get rid of that and I bring down this. Now the first thing you will notice is that this is in a Kiwi accent. I only have to click on a letter and I hear the pronunciation in the Kiwi accent. E, o, e, a. So it's matching the pronunciation that's already in the student's head. And another thing to note is that each time I log in, these letters up here will appear in a different order. So I'm not learning that G is the one at the end. So this slow button, I've now got to change that into o, t, change it into, I've now got to change it into hut. So I listen here and I hear every individual sound. H, a, t. And I listen here to what I've got. H, o, t. So that is helping me to detect the individual sounds in spoken words. H, a, t. I can never remember which is the a and which is the a, so I listen to them both. A, a. Oh, it's that one. So I'll get rid of that. And here I'm learning that the order matters. I haven't yet got hut. Listen again. H, a, t, o. That has to go like that, and so on. Now, hut. So we've got h, a, t as a sequence of letters, and the pronunciation of the word was hut. So I hear it when I'm finished. H, a, t, hut. So we've also put a big effort into getting the difference between sounds that sound similar and that many students have difficulty distinguishing between. B and P. These two are very often confused. And so we've stretched out the sound B, P, to make the difference really, really clear. You can see the same thing here with d and t, and you will get the same with I and e. And later on, I'll show you the difference between sh and ch. So we've learned how to identify the sounds. We've learned how the sequence matters, that this sequence of letters here is exactly the same sequence as the sounds come out of my mouth when I speak. We've learned how to match those phonics to those sounds, and we've learned how to hear the difference between p and b and t and d and k and g and so on. But I need to be able to do that quickly. Being able to put together p, I, n slowly is not quite good enough. So go back here, and we've got this speed challenge. So it's the same thing, but so we've got g, e, t, swap something to make net. And while I'm thinking, you can see that this dial is going around. How far can I get down that chain in 1 minute? So I have to think really quickly. Okay, and then the other feature, so this was the first game. This is the speed challenge, but this one down here is really important. This is the blending challenge. So I choose a color, click done, and now I can hear those words into those repeating units. You can see here that there are a lot of words that end in ip, and you only have to learn that ip once, and it applies to lots of different words. So I have ip, ke, ip, at, v, at, ke, op. There are 4 of these purple units on the screen. There's ip and at and op and an, the most common. And so I'm seeing now how to break this word up so I can put it together easily. I'm blending 2 bits instead of 3. K and op, p and at, th and an. And then when I'm ready, how quickly can you put those words together? Ready, set, go. And there's your minute timer coming up. And how many can you read correctly in that minute? S, ip, f, at, v, at, k, op. Let's see if we can make that cop, pat, van, rip, and so on. And the challenge is to see how far down you can get in 1 minute. Now, next time I go into that chain, I'll go back and I'll go into it again, and you will see that the words are in a different order. This time it's starting with van. So you're not just learning a list of words. You actually have to do the blending. So there's figuring out the words, pulling the words apart, hearing each individual sound from the way the word is pronounced, putting them to seeing those patterns and putting them together, both of those done at speed. Okay, so we'll skip back out of that. So all of these, that's 6 levels, each with about 4 chains, and each chain with about 15 words are about those basic 3-letter words. So there's masses of practice for those kids that need that amount of practice. They won't all, of course. Some will be able to do a little bit of this, maybe a bit of that, where those p and b and k and g confusions come in, and then skip down to here. The important thing is to keep them challenged at all times. You can see this little creature here. That tells me that the student has done this chain once before, but never mind, we'll do it again. So what have we got here? Lash, change that to lack. So I can hear lack there, and I can hear it here slowly. But this time, instead of being it's broken up into those chunks that good readers recognize. Ack. And I can see here, I've got, if I listen here, I can hear sh. And I need to change it to k, which is k. I'm not sure. It might be that one, might be that one. I'll listen to them both because I don't want to make a mistake. Now, when I clicked on that one, I heard ch. When I click on this one, I hear sh. So that those kids that struggle to get the difference between ch and sh are learning that ch is clipped. You can't hold on to it. Sh, you can hold on to. However, it's not the sh I want, it's the k. And let's say I make a mistake and I bring this one down. And you can see it went boom and I got across, and my score up here will be suffering. So I bring down the k. Now comes the blending. Lack. Change that to luck. So it could be any part of the word that changes. And you can see there's going to be masses of practice in playing around with these vowels. So we've got and then the blending. So where were we here? So we can, there's the speed challenge to see how quickly you can do it. And here there's two different sheets to do the blending with. So this time we've got ok, ch, ik, and you can see there's lots of words that have ik. Recognize that as a unit, and it's it makes blending so much quicker. And there's the ik there, and there's another ik there, and so on. And there's an ek, an ok, an ak, another ok, and so on. Start the timer to see how many you can read in a minute when you're ready. And then the other here, we'll go skip a bit and go look at this one. So here, d, e, k, ing, decking, ducking, change that into ducking. So we've learned that sequence d, e, k, ing is decking. Now we want to make ducking. And this is going to break it up into those repeating units. In this case, d, uck, ing, d, uck, ing. I can listen to that as many times as I need to. And I can listen also to here to what I've got. D, e, k, ing, until I figure out that that is the one that needs to change. I can never remember which is e and which is a. So I listen to them so I don't make a mistake. E, a. Now I've got to get it in the right place. I might want to listen again. D, uck, ing. Oh, it goes in there. Now you'll notice that this little ed has a little T up there, and it has that little T up there because after a CK, that ED is pronounced T, like duct or licked. So they're learning in this process that ED has several pronunciations. So, and the last one I'll show you here is this initial blends. So there's plenty of practice here. Let's go down to here. Snug. Make that into slug. I better have a listen. ug. So for those students who struggle to hear both sounds in those blends, detect that there are two sounds there, it's breaking it up ever so slightly. I'll say it again, sl, ug. So and what have I got here? I've got sn, ug, and I want sl, so that one has to go. And then I've got to get this, oh, what have I done wrong? Why is it not moving on? Listen again, sl, ug. The order matters. And that's new information for so many kids. And then the next thing is to turn that into slum, slug. Change the sounds to make slum, and then comes slam and so on. And so the fluent blending here is the same. I'm going to choose a different color this time. And I'm going to go sk, in, sl, at, sp, ot. And I'm learning that these words are made up of mix and match units. That ot is there it is again. And there it is again. And again. And again. Each time with a different starter, but the same ending. And at the same time, there are a lot of words that start with sp. There's one. So it's these beginning and ending bits, the consonant cluster at the beginning and the bit that starts with the vowel. So many words are made up of these mix and match units. So here, for instance, we've got pl and ug and sl and ug. And there'll be another plus somewhere. Never mind, there's lots and lots of words that start with pl. There's fl and app, and there's cl and app. And learning to see words like this makes putting them together, especially as words get longer, so much simpler.